Hi everyone, Astronaut B here. Today, Mission Control has tasked us with helping to launch a rocket up to a space station. As the rocket begins its liftoff, we will count down from 10 to 0. In order to do that, we'll learn a new version of the range function that will let us count backward. When the rocket reaches the space station, a robot will check several storage containers on board. And then, within each of those containers, it will count the number of supplies within them. This calls for loops within loops, which is also known as loop nesting. So, let's embark on this learning adventure together. That's reverse for it's time to start our reverse countdown. Our spaceship is ready for launch. All systems are go, and the only thing left is the countdown from 10 to 0. Mission Control has asked us to handle the countdown using code. Each time we count down, we want to run a systems check, and when the countdown reaches 0, we launch. We will introduce a new version of the range function to help us with this. Unlike our usual counting sequences, where numbers ascend, we will need to descend until a certain value is reached. Using this version of the range function, we have 3 parameters: the starting value, the ending value, and the step value. Just as with our previous version of the function, the starting value is where we want to begin counting, while the end value should be 1 less than where we want to end. In this case, we want to end at 0, so 1 less would be -1. Then, the step value tells us what amount we want to count by. If we make this value negative, like a -1, we will count down instead of up. In this code, we use the range function with 3 arguments: the starting value, 10, 1 less than the ending value, which is exclusive, -1, the step value, -1, to decrement the counter by 1 in each iteration. This code will produce the following output. As you can see, it begins at 10 and descends by a value of 1 each loop until we reach 0. Great job! Our rocket successfully launched and is headed to the space station. Now, it's your turn. We have a robot descending from a mountaintop. The robot needs to go from the marker at 30 meters down to the marker at 18 meters. Each time it descends, we need to check for any signs of avalanche by calling the function called checkAvalanche. Each time signs of an avalanche are detected, add 1 to the avalanche counter. Pause the video here and give it a try in your guided notes. Let's check your work. Our loop uses the new range function with values of 30, 17, and -1. Then we use an if statement to see the value of checkAvalanche. Each time this is true, we add 1 to the avalanche counter. Our next mission is to utilize a robot on board the space station to determine how many supplies are currently in each of 8 rooms. The rooms each contain 5 compartments, which need to be searched. The robot will need to visit each room and then look in each compartment within the room and keep account of how many total supplies are found. This sounds like a job for a nested loop. A nested loop is a loop within a loop. Our outside loop will be used to visit each room. Our inside loop will be used to visit each compartment within the room. If we have 8 rooms to visit, we set our outside loop to continue from the values 1 through 8. If we have 5 compartments in each room, we set our inner loop to continue from the values 1 through 5. Notice we use a different loop variable named j to keep track of the inner loop. Just like our I variable, this could be named anything we want. Now, for each compartment, we check if there are supplies, and if so, we add 1 to our count variable. Now you can try one. A rover is exploring the surface of Mars looking for a specific rock sample called magmite. It needs to search 5 caverns, and within each cavern there are 4 zones to search. During your search, you can use the method called test rock to determine the current rock's value and compare that value to magmite. If it is found, break the loop. Pause the video here and give it a try in your guided notes now. Let's look at the solution. First, we set our outer range parameters to 1 and 6, letting us search through the 5 caverns. Each time we enter a cavern, we need to check 4 zones, so our inner loop is arranged from 1 to 5. Then we check if test rock is equal to magmite. If this is true, we break our loop. For our task today, we will begin programming our dining robot to help us get ready for dinner. Let's take a look. Welcome to our dining room. Today, our trusty robot has a mission to prepare the room and serve meals. Currently, our tables are empty, without any chairs or tablecloths. Our robot has the ability to move from table to table and perform some actions. Now, the tables are indexed from 0 to the number of tables minus 1. We can command our robot to move to a specific table using the move to table function, entering the table number as the parameter. Given the total number of tables, numbered 0 to number of tables minus 1, our robot will go to each table one by one and place a beautiful tablecloth on it. We'll use a simple loop to accomplish this. For each table indexed from 0 to number of tables, we will write code to move to the current table number in our loop, and then place the tablecloth. The next few tasks will use nested loops in order to do things like place chairs and meals at each table's place setting. Finish up the code for this task and then complete the other RoboWaiter tasks. In today's journey, we've discovered the third and final way to use range, which now includes a step value. This allows us to count by a specified value and even lets us count backward if we'd like. This was invaluable when we needed to check our systems during a rocket launch countdown. We also used loop nesting, giving us the power to put one loop inside another loop. As you've seen, this is useful when we have larger places to search, like the rooms of a space station. And then those larger places also have places to look through, like the compartments we had to search. Be sure to complete the programming tasks, practice questions, and extension activities before moving on to the next lesson. And remember, in the universe of coding, the possibilities are infinite. See ya! Hey, hey.